Waiting on YouTube to kick in for the replay gang, in case you're wondering. Okay, it kicked in. Hey, lovely Linda Gamble. Yes, please hit the like button. Hey, Sound Checker Net, how you doing at the gym working? Okay, no problem, Sound Checker Net. All right, so this is a class action lawsuit against Cash App and I think Block Inc. Cash App Investing LLC. It was filed in February of 2024. They now have come to a settlement. So we're looking at what they were sued about. Um, and this is gonna be part one. I'm not gonna read the whole 75 pages in one session today. We're gonna go ahead and do a part one. So I'm here for about 30 minutes and then I'll come back and do a part two at another time. So we can still get a good idea of what's going on though. So hey Shirley, Mac, Miss Pam, Veronica Monroe. Okay, so if some of y'all can't see somebody, you might be on the legal at some point side, which I do ask if you see a lawsuit type topic, please come on over to legal at some point side because it really supports me doing my legal content. So that's all. I'm just asking if you don't mind, come on over to the legal at some point side. Hey, Auntie Natty. Hi, Four Brown Eyes. How are you? All right. So let's get started. So it says plaintiff Michelle Salinas, Raymel Washington, and Amanda Gordon, collectively the plaintiffs, individually and on behalf of all others similarly situated upon personal knowledge of facts pertaining to themselves and upon information and belief as to all other matters, and by and through their undersigned counsel, hereby bring this class action complaint against defendants Block Inc. and Cash App Investing LLC, and collectively defendants, and allege as follows. Okay. So it says Cash App, owned by Block, is a mobile application that allows users to transfer money from one person to another while using the Cash App mobile application on their smartphone. Additionally, Cash App provides investing services which allows users to purchase stock and Bitcoin through its platform. Cash App is widely used by many Americans with over 50 million downloads on the Google Play Store. In conjunction with the services, Cash App acquires and maintains extremely sensitive personal identifying information, or PII, for each of its users. The security of defendants' customers' inherently valuable PII is exceedingly important. Defendants are responsible for designing, developing, and maintaining the app's security measures, safely securing each user's PII, and actively monitoring third-party infiltration. Unfortunately, due to defendants' negligent security features, protocol, systems, screening, and design, defendants suffered at least 2 data breaches in the last 2 years. Moreover, numerous individuals have complained of unauthorized access to and transactions stemming from their Cash App accounts. Now, as I read this, I'm going to tell you now, I'm still using Cash App. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Wait, I'm muted? Am I muted, y'all? Can y'all hear me? Hey, 41 Fit. Can y'all hear me? Oh, you saying, hey, the muted expressions. Girl, I thought I was reading on mute. Hey, muted expressions. Hey, Deborah Jackson. Mama V. I was scared. Hey, Aries. Hey, Cece. Okay. I got so scared for a second. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I was saying I'm still using Cash App. I am. It's so practical that, look, had this happened to me, I'll probably just try to join the settlement, claim my money, and I'll still... Because it's data breaches from everywhere. Your bank, data breach. Cash App, data breach. Your, what's the other stuff? Every time I turn around, there's a data breach. So I'm like, I'm going to just give me my settlement and I'm going to have to keep it moving. But hey, y'all. Hey. Okay, let me see here. It says these instances make it apparent defendants have utterly failed to properly secure and protect customer accounts and the user's PII accessible through the app in multiple respects, which led to, among other things, unauthorized access to the customer accounts, unintended transactions associated with customer Cash App accounts that were not appropriately resolved, the loss of the opportunity for customers to determine for themselves how their PII is used, and or the publication and or theft of their PII. Multiple users have also complained about delays and other issues with Cash App's resolution process for addressing payment errors. Now that one, Don't send the money to the wrong person, because pretty much, unless they have had to change it, you ain't getting that money back. Uh-uh. Defendants have known and or should have known that their security measures, protocols, screening procedures, and systems were deficient in terms of how they failed to protect against unauthorized access to and unauthorized transactions from customer accounts and users' PII stored therein. Defendants have also known and or should have known that their procedures for resolving user complaints in response to such unauthorized access or unauthorized or unintended transactions were deficient. This negligence and lack of action and due care by defendants can be seen in postings about problems with the app and recently culminated in recent data breaches of the app. One piece of advice I'm definitely going to tell y'all: as soon as I joined YouTube, I made sure I have a pin assigned to my Cash App, because y'all are very kind and y'all do donate to our Cash Apps, right? Well, some people, they'll send you a request. A request can look very similar to somebody sending you a Cash App. So I put a pin in place to one. I think I actually can't even be sent requests for Cash Apps anymore, so I don't even see those. But it's in your settings in your Cash App. But I also set up a pin, so even if I'm trying to pay somebody, my eyelash person or whomever, I have a pin. If I don't enter that pin, nothing's going through. So that's another thing too, because there's a thing where, say you're a tourist and someone's like, "Oh, do you want me to take a picture of you?" Baby, they ain't taking a picture of you. They in your phone, going to your Cash App or whatever else you don't have a pin set up to, sending themselves money from your stuff. And as you can see, Cash App don't really resolve stuff. So put a pin on your stuff, please, y'all. Okay. Defendants failed to take reasonable steps to safeguard consumer information in connection with the December 2021 data breach that resulted in the unauthorized public release of PII of 8.2 million current and former Cash App investing customers, including plaintiffs and proposed class members' full names and brokerage account numbers, which are the personal identification numbers associated with Cash App customers' stock activity on the Cash App investing platform, the value and holdings of brokerage portfolios, and trading activities. According to Block's late disclosure of the data breach, a former employee who was given access to class members' PII by defendants is believed to have, without authority, downloaded plaintiffs' and other consumers' PII. Defendants' failure to take adequate security measures following the first data breach resulted in a second data breach in 2023, in which Cash App identified unauthorized access to customers' accounts, unauthorized transactions resulting from that access, and unauthorized access to customers' PII and account information. The second data breach, collectively with the first data breach, the data breaches. PII is a commodity bought and sold just like oil and gas, farm products, and precious minerals. Like other commodities, there is a thriving black market for PII, with hackers, thieves, organized crime, and individual actors seeking to acquire people's names, addresses, birthdays, tax identification numbers, and medical records to trade and sell. Defendants have contributed to this black market through their negligence and failure to exercise reasonable care. Hey, Peaches and Cream. Hey, y'all that are coming in first, last. Hi. Because of defendants' negligence, plaintiffs and class members' PII has been compromised, and their financial accounts, as well as accounts unrelated to Cash App, are not secure and were subject to unauthorized transactions. As a result, among other things, potential class members' accounts were accessed without authorization and or used by unauthorized actors. Class members had money taken from their accounts, stolen funds were not refunded or were only partially refunded, and data associated with Cash App accounts was used in various unauthorized ways. Moreover, defendants failed to respond appropriately to reports of these issues. Defendants claim to understand the seriousness of their negligence and claim to be taking steps to address this failure. Defendants also claim they take reasonable measures, including administrative, technical, and physical safeguards to protect users' information from loss, theft, and misuse, and unauthorized access, disclosures, alteration, and destruction. Despite defendants' claims, some believe the first data breach occurred due to an orphaned account still active on a third-party, I'm going to say SaaS or SaaS application like a cloud storage solution, or due to a lack of proper communication between the human resources and IT department on the status of terminated employees. Ultimately, defendants' claims of reasonable conduct are belied by the occurrence of not one but two data breaches and a flood of complaints from users that have had money stolen from their Cash App accounts and that have encountered problems in the error resolution process. Hold on, I gotta take a water break. Hold on, y'all. Okay, who said Agnes said they did me like that also? Ooh. Hey, Sweet Jane. Hey, the child of Yah. How you been? How you been? Should I be expecting money from Cash App? If you had, well, here's the thing. They had a deadline of like November of 2024. So I don't know if you can still get in there, but you had to have had unauthorized transactions on your account was one of the things I saw. And I don't know about the data breach part for sure, though. But there was a settlement. I can tell you that. Okay, so let me see where I stopped. I took that water break and forgot where I was. By and through defendants' negligence, they have caused financial losses, most directly in the form of money being stolen out of users' vulnerable accounts by third parties, and their negligence will continue to harm class members into the future. Most importantly, to the millions of Cash App users whose PII is in the hands of unauthorized third parties, due to defendants' negligence, class members have either experienced damages and harm, or it is likely that they will due to the defendant's negligence. Thus, on behalf of the class, plaintiffs seek under state common law and consumer protection statutes to redress defendants' negligence. I'm skipping over the parties, the description of the parties, because it tells like how they can bring the lawsuit up. So I'm skipping over that. I'm going. But one person said that it impacted her credit score, but I'm gonna keep going because most of the details will be in here anyway. Talking about jurisdiction. Okay, here we go. Factual allegations. Cash App collects and stores PII for its own financial gain. Established in 2013 by parent company Square Inc., now known as Block, Cash App was one of the first peer-to-peer payment apps in the financial technology industry. Peer-to-peer payment services allow consumers to use their smartphones to transfer money to individuals and businesses. In recent years, Cash App has expanded its services beyond peer-to-peer payments. Cash App users can now also receive direct deposit payments, purchase cryptocurrency, and invest through the app's investment feature. When users establish an account with defendants to use Cash App, users must provide defendants with their PII, which defendants then electronically collect and store. Plaintiffs and class members signed up for Cash App accounts and provided the required PII, which defendants collected, stored, and routed through its servers. In its privacy notice, defendants stated the following: "We take reasonable measures, including administrative, technical, and physical safeguards, to protect your information from loss, theft, and misuse, and unauthorized access, disclosure, alteration, and destruction." In this privacy notice, defendants conveniently omit to disclose the known inadequacies in their security system and protocol and prior known instances of hacking. Defendants turned a blind eye to gaping holes in its security despite user complaints. Defendants were aware of inadequacies in its Cash App security prior to the first data breach. Since as early as 2020, defendants have been repeatedly put on notice that its security measures were not up to par, leaving users' PII at risk of theft. Rather than addressing the problems by upgrading its security procedure, screening, system, and protocol, defendants chose to allow class members' PII to remain potentially exposed to bad actors. Defendants' negligence and failure to heed myriad warnings about its deficient data security, even after multiple hacking instances, has shown defendants' active concealment of the security inadequacy. In fact, defendants knew that Cash App users had been subject to a variety of fraudulent transfers from their Cash App accounts. An article published in March 2021 states 6 users were harmed by Cash App's vulnerability to hackers. In each of these instances, hackers accessed and drained cash, stock, and Bitcoin out of accounts linked to Cash App. Between August 2020 and September 2020, California business owner Britt Soderberg stated hackers generated numerous false refunds in Cash App, resulting in a loss of approximately $21,000. In another attack, a Cash App user by the name of Shania Jensen alleged that one morning she woke up to find that nearly $3,000 was drained from her account. In yet another example, an individual who chose to remain anonymous alleged approximately $1,850 was taken out of his Cash App linked bank account after he received what appeared to be a message with Cash App's official domain stating there had been a fraudulent attempt to log into his account. And here you go, the phishing scam. The user followed a link connecting him to his account and double checked his security settings. Be careful with those links. Oh, Lord, be careful. The user followed a link connecting him. Oh, despite this, the hackers began a series of cash withdrawals. He received no notifications from Cash App regarding any transactions. Each of the above users claimed they attempted to notify Cash App. However, Cash App has been continuously criticized by its customers for its lack of action and communication, and for deficiencies in its error resolution processes for determining whether electronic funds transfers alleged to be unauthorized must be reimbursed under relevant regulations. Those facing fraud concerning their Cash App account often cite it being nearly impossible to talk to a representative of Cash App on the telephone. Instead, users are most often met with communication loops where bots instead of humans handle their claims. I believe that. Also, I do think Cash App has to go ahead and take on the responsibilities of a bank if you want to act like a bank. You want to add investment options and all this, then you need to have the same regulations and every resources available. With increasing frustration surrounding Cash App's vulnerability from its users, the app has seen a surge in complaints. From February 2020 until March 2021, the BBB investigated 2,485 complaints concerning Cash App. This is in stark comparison to the I don't know if it's mere 928 complaints filed for Venmo and 83 complaints for Zelle during the same time frame. Okay, Zelle can have the word mere. Venmo, that's still a lot. However, the proverbial writing on the wall appeared in Cash App's user reviews. In February 2021, user reviews mentioning the words fraud or scam increased by 335% since February 2020. This evidence shows that Cash App has been on continuous notice of its security inadequacies, but has chosen to turn a blind eye to the issue. Cash App was well aware of security issues within its platform prior to the first data breach. Defendants omitted essential facts concerning the app's lack of security, namely the app's known vulnerability to outside hackers. Had Cash App disclosed this app was regularly successfully attacked by outside hackers, plaintiffs and the class would not have provided their PII to Cash App to set up an account. Instead, because plaintiffs and the class were unaware of the prior successful hacking incidents, they put their PII at risk and continued to use Cash App. Cash App has profited off this material omission to the detriment of plaintiffs and the class. Hey, y'all that's coming in. All right. Defendants' inadequate data security causes first data breach. Despite defendants' knowledge of prior cybersecurity issues, Block disclosed the following information regarding a first data breach in 2021. On April 4th, 2022, Block Inc. announced that it recently determined that a former employee downloaded certain reports of its subsidiary Cash App Investing LLC on December 10th, 2021 that contained some U.S. customer information. While this employee had regular access to these reports as part of their past job responsibilities, in this instance, these reports were accessed without permission after their employment ended. The information in the reports included full name and brokerage account numbers. This is the unique identification number associated with a customer's stock activity on Cash App Investing. And for some customers, also included brokerage portfolio value, brokerage portfolio holdings, and or stock trading activity for one trading day. The reports did not include usernames or passwords, social security numbers, date of birth, payment card information, addresses, bank account information, or any other personally identifiable information. They also did not include any security code, access code, or password used to access Cash App accounts. Other Cash App products and features and customers outside the United States were not impacted. Upon discovery, the company and its outside counsel launched an investigation with the help of a leading forensics firm. Cash App Investing is contacting approximately 8.2 million current and former customers to provide them with information about this incident and sharing resources with them to answer their questions. The company is also notifying the applicable regulatory authorities and has notified law enforcement. This notice was issued 4 months after the first data breach had allegedly occurred, and Block offered no explanation as to why they had let bad actors have a 4-month head start on plaintiffs and class members who needed to protect their PII. This caused unnecessary damages and harm to plaintiffs and the class. Defendants failed to provide timely notice, and when notice was issued, it was woefully insufficient. Defendants' notice failed to provide basic details, including how the former employee accessed the PII, why a former employee had access to defendants' networks, whether the PII was encrypted or protected in any way to keep bad actors from using it, or how the first data breach was discovered. Further, defendants did not offer any credit or identity theft monitoring services for plaintiffs and the class. I will say many banks did offer like a year, 2 years. If a data breach happened with them, I've received notices where they'll offer you like a free year or 2 years of identity theft protection and stuff like that. Let me see. I'm trying to check my time. Where's my time? Oh, there it goes. Okay. By intentionally failing to disclose the first data breach in a timely manner, defendant misled consumers into continuing to use defendant's services, thus providing defendants with a continuous stream of income. Plaintiffs and the class's PII has been viewed, accessed, exposed, and misused because of defendants' negligence, causing damages through fraudulent charges, lost time, and harm to their credit. The first data breach happened because defendants failed to take reasonable measures to protect the class's PII that defendants had collected, stored, and were responsible for protecting. Defendants disregarded the rights of plaintiffs and the class by intentionally, willfully, recklessly, and/or negligently failing to take and implement adequate and reasonable administrative and data security measures to ensure that plaintiffs and the class's PII was safeguarded from access by former employees. As a result, the PII of plaintiffs and the class was compromised through unauthorized access, resulting in damage to plaintiffs and the class plaintiffs and the class, period. Plaintiffs and the class have a continuing interest in protecting their PII. Defendants' inadequate data security causes a second data breach in 2023. Okay, before I go on, I just want to say again, if you are here now, that means you like legal stuff, so please subscribe to Legal at Some Point, support me over there, because that's where this really should be, is at Legal at Some Point. But I know how YouTube is working. I gotta be live on both sides, but please subscribe to Legal at Some Point if you are here for this. It says, incredulously, defendants' knowledge of prior cybersecurity issues as well as the first data breach, defendants disclosed in June of 2023 the following information regarding a second data breach in 2023 that included unauthorized access to Cash App customers' data from January 1st, 2023 to June 19th, 2023. We recently identified a suspicious login to your Cash App account. At the time, we sent you an email and/or text message regarding a sign-in from a new device. We initiated an investigation and retained cybersecurity experts to assist us with the investigation to determine what happened and what data was affected. We have now determined that an unauthorized user logged into your Cash App account using a phone number that was linked to your account and had been recycled by your carrier. This can happen. For example, when your carrier decides a number is no longer in use by you and the carrier gives that number to a new person. Your name, Cash App account number and routing number, Cash App card number, expiration date, and CVV appear to have been downloaded and accessed. Oof. Jeez, your external personal bank account or card information that you connected to Cash App were not affected. This is coming from Cash App saying it. Your social security number and driver's license information were also not affected. Given that we have canceled the card, there is no ongoing risk that this card may be used fraudulently in the future. Your name, Cash App account number and routing number, Cash App card number, expiration date, and CVV appear to have been downloaded, accessed. Okay, that seems like the same message twice, so I'm going to go down. Yeah, that seems like the same message. Okay, it says this notice was issued at least 6 months after the initial unauthorized access in this data breach had allegedly occurred, and Block offered no explanation as to why they had let bad actors have a 6-month head start on plaintiffs and class members who needed to protect their PII. This caused unnecessary damages and harm to plaintiffs and the class. Defendants failed to discover and provide timely notice, and when notice was issued, it was woefully insufficient. Defendants' notice failed to provide basic details, including how the second data breach was discovered. By intentionally failing to disclose the second data breach in a timely manner, defendant misled consumers into continuing to use defendant's services, thus providing defendants with a continuous stream of income. And then they say the same about their PII being exposed. The second data breach happened because defendants failed to take reasonable measures to protect the class's PII that defendants had collected, stored, and were responsible for protecting. And then they repeat about willful, reckless, negligence, unauthorized access to and takeovers of defendants, users' accounts, and impact to users. Plaintiffs' counsel received numerous submissions indicating injuries to Cash App users. Some specifically referenced the data breaches, while others complained of the security of Cash App more generally. These submissions indicate that potential class members' accounts were accessed without authorization and or used by unauthorized actors, and that class members had their money taken from their accounts, that their stolen funds were not refunded or were only partially refunded, that their account experienced technical issues, that their data associated with their Cash App account was used in various unauthorized ways, or that defendants have failed to respond appropriately or timely to their reports of unauthorized access or use by unauthorized actors. Many of the potential class members' submissions indicate that they lost as much as $40,000 from their Cash App accounts. These funds were stolen in a plethora of different ways. This includes dozens of claims that their stolen funds were used to buy Bitcoin. In addition, unauthorized funds were used to buy Uber transactions, items on the Google Marketplace, gift cards, not items on the Roblox Marketplace. They put Robo-Blocks, but I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Roblox. Stocks or were given to unknown users on Cash App. So they was sending money to other Cash App people. Y'all remember that? I don't know if y'all remember that TikTok thing when people were like, "Oh my God, right now there's a way that you can just get money to get money on Cash App. Like if you put this in, it's gonna send you money." Or it was something like that. I'm like, y'all crazy. You are describing your crime. They're going to get you. They're just slow right now, but they're going to get you. But I remember it was something. Oh, I don't know. And it was an ATM scam too, I think, on TikTok. And I'm like, I don't know, y'all crazy. It's going to come back to you. Like, why would you do this? Yeah, well, 40,000 attached to Cash App. I don't know if that was investments, but if it's linked to your bank account, I think even if you don't have that balance in Cash App, they might can pull from your bank account because you have a linked bank account. So again, put a PIN number on your Cash App. Ooh, Jocelyn said, I had two unauthorized ones for PayPal through Cash App. Jocelyn, do you have a PIN number set up now? I live by that PIN number. I live by two-factor authentication and or is it authentication? Two-factor authentication and a PIN number. Get a PIN number, Jocelyn, if you don't have one yet. You probably did now because that's crazy, and I'm so sorry that happened. But get a PIN number. Okay. It says, let me see. The stolen funds occurred at various intervals. Some class members submitted that the funds were only taken once, while many report that the funds were taken from their account multiple times, even as many as on 75 different occasions. Let me tell you what, I'm shutting it down. You ain't gonna get to number 75, 65, 55, 45. I'm shutting it down. There's no way. I can see you might not see one or two. Oh, there's no way you get to 75 on my account. There is no more Cash App at that point. Okay, you changed it. Okay, good for you, Jocelyn. This includes submissions that state the funds were taken from their account over long periods of time, up to about a year. Many of the potential class members submitted that money had been taken from their accounts. Potential class members submitted that they reached out to Cash App for assistance. Cash App in most of the submissions provided no assistance at all. Most of the submissions indicate that the Cash App denied claims for assistance. I believe that. I've heard that. And did not provide them with a refund. Some of the potential class members indicated in their submission that they received a refund, but it was not the full amount of the monies they had lost. One potential class member indicated that even after they informed Cash App that their account had been compromised, money continued to be taken from their account. A few potential class members noted that Cash App allowed enough funds to be stolen from their accounts that they were left with negative balance of as much as $5,800. The potential class members submitted the importance of the funds that were stolen from them. Many indicated that the funds were necessary for rent payments, food, and other essential obligations. Others indicated that their lost funds in their Cash App account were a product of tax returns, stimulus checks, and military disability pay. Mm-mm. You keep it locked. I don't blame you. First Last said Cash App is canceled. Right, right. I'm looking for mine. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna stop at the fact that these people were taking these people's disability, military disability pay, stimulus checks, and all that. Part 2 will be coming, but I didn't want to keep these long this time. And it's a 75-page document, so we will start at paragraph 75 on part 2. So hopefully you have your notifications on. Please subscribe to Legal at some point and support me over there, because I do have a passion for legal topics, although I have no legal background. So yes, please come over there. I do like talking about this stuff. So I will see y'all again soon, but I'm keeping this short and sweet. So part 2 is coming. Thank y'all again for even being in the chat and watching in the bushes and everything. I will see y'all again really soon. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.